Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a little bit of time since we last played this game. Not in just like real life, but like what I'm showing you is far into the future. If you look at the time down here, 19 hours. I've been busy, and not because I didn't want to show you any content, it's more just that there's a lot to do in this game that is kind of boring. So, what have I been doing? Well, let's start over where we last left off. Oh, this isn't getting power. Hold on. Here we go. So let's start off where I last left off. Where was that? Ah, there it is. So over here, this used to be our oil storage. I think it used to just be these three. I decided to expand it because I didn't want to deal with it ever again, and I have plans for this in the future. I've also upgraded this storage to use these still because I already built them. I don't want to, like, empty them out. It takes too much work. But these right here now hold all of our hydrogen. And as somebody mentioned in the comments, they hold 10,000 versus these things that hold less than 10,000. Over here, we have our oil refineries, which are starting to slow down after 10 hours of use. I read somewhere, I think it's every hour or something like that, it halves the production speed and it just keeps like losing half and half and half and half. So these are basically done. Like, you can kind of see the line. It's not really producing that much. So what I did in my spare time of 11 hours, I played for an entire session of 11 hours, and we got a little bit done. And it's all the way over here. Let's follow this line. This is the line that comes out of the red cubes. So what I figured out was that, you know what? I need a completely separate system. It's completely power independent of the red cube network, which is, you know, right next door actually. And it's right over here. I started with a coal vein, which has been completely ravaged. Like, just how many machines I could put on it, that's how many I put on it. It's feeding into storage systems, which is feeding into additional storage systems. They're all empty because they're currently being used to the maximum. Then I started really going with it, and you know what? We ended up with a lot of power generation. Some of it's not fueled right now, so I'll have to work on that. But overall, we're sitting at a good power satisfaction rate, so it's not a big deal. After that, you can see there's a lot of iron coming through here. Over here, we had our original iron vein that I worked on 11 hours ago. It's got 8,000 left, so it's not really doing much. But when it was doing things, it was creating a whole bunch of iron ingots. It's storing it up right here, making a whole bunch of magnets. I'm using a splitter so that each of them gets a priority. Pretty sure, yeah, magnets are prioritized, but overall, they're both getting fed completely. There's this line of copper across because, you know, things happened. And of course, here's another copper vein. This is the second one. Again, we're just right beside that fuel line. So these copper feed into the storage, which feeds into these furnaces. A lot of them. There's a lot of smelting happening here. And, you know, that gets fed into a really big storage system. Like, really big. And I'm not using most of this yet. It has uses, but not as much iron, so it's kind of just sitting here. So that was the first bit. Getting all this set up so that I could at least automate all of the basic resources. And if we just open up the foundry, that means I was able to make iron ingots, copper ingots, magnets, and I went to high purity silicon as well, and stone bricks as well. The stone production and all that, this is all being shipped across the map, so I have a full array of steel, I have a full array of glass, because why am I making more glass? I barely use it as it is, and I'm starting to fill up these. There's a bit of a slowdown on the prisms, but I fixed that up. So those are being sent across the map. And then I went to it. There's a beautiful thing in this game called assemblers, and I really didn't use them as much as I should have in the beginning because I was just kind of going for quick content. But once you start working with them, you can say, hey, I have these things called mag coils, and this is from the start as well, but it uses copper ingots and it uses magnets, and you put them together and it puts it onto this line, or I guess onto this line. Then it ships them across the map to somewhere else. So I did that with gears, and it's easier just to show the replicator, but I did it with magnets, and I did it with coils, and I did it with motors, and I did it with gears and electromagnetic turbines and stone bricks, and I even did a foundation line, which is really nice. I actually have a bunch in my inventory now. Basically, I wanted all of the base parts. So that's what this is. Let's just shift a little to the left over here. All of this is just base parts. Oh, it's made diamonds. That was just like a little extra thing that I did. It's one of the new things that you can make out of the graphite. Not new, but like new to me. Apparently you can use it in your fuel chamber, but its fuel chamber generation is negative 50%. So I don't know what that means, but it sounds terrible. Anyway, all of this was done. I had all my base parts, and then, you know, Spaghetti City started to happen. I've got the mag coils coming across here, I've got some stone going across there, some copper there, some iron here and here, some gears there, and it started to feed into all this. So let's try and go through them quickly together, but ooh, this one's actually out. Oh. Well, you saw it here first, folks. The end of a stone line. There's one here that's not actually being used, but I'll just let that live for now. But I said, you know what, let's replicate some Mark II storage to the max. Like, literally, I don't think I'll ever need storage ever again. At least on this planet. I said belts, that's what I use a lot of. So I made belts here, and I made gears here, and I made turbines here, or sorry, motors. And then those feed into here. This is just, you know, a storage system for belts. Mark I belts. And then over here we've got assemblers for the motors, and then the tier 2 motors, the electromagnetic turbines. And these then feed into here. So let's just follow these green guys over here. Here's our friends. The electromagnetic turbines then feed through here into a storage system, which then feeds out into a not storage system. And it feeds all the way over into here. Which, you know what, these are the level 2 belts that we're using. So it takes the level 1 belts in, and it takes the turbines in, and it spits out these Mark II belts, which then go into this, it's actually a pretty small array, but if you look inside it holds 300 per, and I'm not doing the math, but that's a lot. Now it's automated. I can now put belts all the way across the map. And then I did it for a couple more things, so I've got these things, the microcrystalline components, so that I just was making manually before, so now I'm making these. And I also made a lot of Tesla towers. So now I just come over here and pick up a stack and then put the other stack back. There was something else that I made. Oh yeah, I ran out of resources halfway through, so now there's just snaky lines of, what is this? This is high purity silicon. Oh yeah, I have this entire array, ooh, sorry about that. I have this entire array of high purity silicon production over here, which feeds off of a large stone vein, which is currently running out. I've got another coal vein over here, which is nice. I've also got iron, which is, again, running out. And that leaves me on the other side of the world, right beside my oil production. So I've got copper, iron, stone, and stone here. It looks like I got halfway through making something over here and then stopped. Now, all of this is just on the Mark I assemblers. So if we look into here, into our buildings, we do have access to the Mark II assemblers. But that requires processors, which require the circuit boards and the, whatever these were called, microcrystalline components. And then it also requires graphene, which is a whole process in itself. So for now, we've set up the industries just on belts and Mark I assemblers. Which, you know, pretty primitive compared to the grand scale of this game. But that's what we've got, and that's what we're going to be using. So where does that leave us? Well, today, we're kind of aiming for this. Planetary Logistics Station. Because, well, I guess it's better just to show you the math and go from there. Our iron and copper are below 1 million left. Our stone and coal are doing fine. But our iron and copper are struggling. To the point of, like, concern. And when I was kind of flying around the map before, while I was playing this game, I realized that we really only have these resources over here, beside the oil. Those are the only ones that we're not using right now. So every now and then, depending on which rocks apparently that you mine, you can get a bit of titanium. But it's not enough to really do anything with, like 13 titanium, what was it? Yeah, it was about 13, so I've got 23 raw titanium. I can smelt that up, no problem. And I can make those into fuel rods, which I would consume, or titanium crystals, which I'd consume, or, you know, planetary logistics systems, which, you know, would be nice, but I need 40 titanium bars for that. And I just, now, after like muddling in the dirt for 5 minutes, got there. Hence the belts. We don't really have a way to implement the planetary logistics systems yet. In order to do that at a more grand scale, we have to look outwards into the actual solar system. I'm pretty sure it was Theta Hydri. Yeah, Theta Hydri 3. This planet has 14 million titanium ore. So this planet is kind of dead, at least technologically speaking. It's still useful, and I'm still gonna continue on this planet, but there's good reason to just kind of, you know, let it produce things and forget about it for a while. So today's checklist, we've got a little bit of fun at the start. We're gonna make Mark 1 assemblers inside of assemblers. I don't know if that's gonna happen at the start of the episode or at the end, but you know, they're pretty easy to make. It's just gears and iron and circuit boards. But in order to do that, we need graphene, which means we need sulfuric acid, which means we need water, and oh hey, refined oil, that thing that I'd been working on and storing all the way over there. Huh, segue came back, wow. But you know, once we have those set up, we can start making sulfuric acid, and then we can make graphene, which I already forgot the recipe for. Graphene and, oh, energetic carbon. Okay, well, I've got lots of that. At least that much. And after that, we're gonna look into some titanium. We're gonna try and maybe fly somewhere, I don't know. So far, my plan is really just get the sulfuric acid set up, and then that's it. That's all I've got. It sounds like a very short list, but it's gonna take a bit. So over here, let's grab some of these as well. 50, sure. Belts, I think we'll need about 1,500. So we'll just grab them. There's Theta Hydri 3 on the horizon. That's where we have to go. Let's just pin that. Now we can see it. Oh. Well, I thought we were going to be able to see it forever, but I guess not. Now, I didn't really expect this to happen, but this is an easy fix, so we'll just put down a bit of this stuff, just so I have a bit of room to work with. Put a break in the line right there, litter a bit, and throw in a splitter. So we'll just redo this starting line, but for now, that'll do. We'll put a line out like that, and then this splitter will prioritize this port. So now that we have this set up, it's just a matter of piping it over to our industrial area, or like our new industrial area, which is a bit of a chore, but you know what, we've got the belts for it, so let's get cracking. So there it is, it's starting to flow in. So we've got water filling up these huge storage containers, 10,000 quantity. And then here is our line of refined oil. Is that what it's called? Yeah, refined oil. Now I think we are almost there. Yep, let's get rid of this 1 titanium, get rid of our silicon, get rid of our plant matter, 2 stone, 4 glass, 5 high purity. And then let's set up just a little chemical facility. So the output will be into another set of fluid storage. So let's line it up like this. Maybe like just a big line of them over here. Could span across the beach. That sounds good to me. We can start it like, we can start it back here. It shouldn't get in the way of anything. Let's start with that many. We'll hook up some power. Let's get rid of this. Oh yeah, they've got this new milestone thing. It's on the production tab, so if you haven't done this before, you need to go back and make some stuff. I'm pretty early in the game, so I don't have to do too much of this. Like, I don't have kimberlite ore yet, I don't have fire ice. Anyway, yeah, that's cool. So 1 belt, wait. Oh, there's a curve on the Earth. Oh man. No. Okay, well, we'll continue with this. Look at that, just like a zag right there. Oh. So the Earth isn't completely flat, so if you run... The Earth isn't completely flat. Watch out for the comments with that one. If you go along like the top to bottom axis, you're gonna run into a bit of trouble when doing this kind of stuff. Kind of flares out in the middle. Rightly so. So like there's more tiles in the middle than on the top. So I'm running this way across the equator belt. So some of it does a bit of a wonky curve. Hopefully that doesn't get in the way of our production, but we'll see in a second. But for now, let's see. We need 6, 8, and 4. So the far line can be the water. Then the 6 goes on this one, and then the 8 is on the main line. So we'll do the easy ones first. We've got oil on the middle line. Water comes out of this one over here into the far line. Like that. So stone. I don't know if I'm actually storing stone. Where am I storing my stone? Am I storing stone anywhere? Not really. Looks like it's all being made into high purity silicon. Well, no time like the present to ruin the world a little bit more. Alright, so this needs to ship across, and I might actually need level 3 belts for this. I cannot make level 3 belts yet. Okay, so we're doing level 2 belts, but I might do 2 lines instead of 1, which means more belts are required. Okay, well, let's set this one up, and we'll use this as a guide for the second one. Let's get back over there to civilization. Hopefully the power survives that long. Yeah? Yeah, it should be fine. So now we've got the stone coming across, we've got water coming out of here, and it looks like it's already started. Wow, 15 sulfuric acid. Cool. So it looks like, let's see, the stone gets... Oh, it only gets halfway across. Oh, here comes the rest. Okay. So, sulfuric acid is off the table. We can now make graphene inside of chemical facilities. Okay, so we need more. 3 to 1. And then we can make conveyor belt Mark 3s. Accumulators. What? What are these? Crystal silicon. What? Oh my goodness, we can make more stuff out of it. Oh. That would allow us to make a self-sufficient world, though, instead of just using coal power all the time. Okay, that might be a titanium planet kind of thing. Well, at least at this point, we can set up a couple more chemical facilities. Maybe just like 3? 2 or 3? Let's do 3. So for here, we'll bring this across. Let's actually set up this order before I forget. Do 1, 2, into that, and then bring this across. Past all of these, and spaghetti is okay. So let's just do that, and then bring it over and across, and line it up with this one. So this is all feeding across. It should be there by now, so let's just do a quick flight over. Oof, getting better. Yeah, we've already got graphene. Cool. It's 51 graphene already. Why did we need this again? Oh yeah, Mark III belts, and Mark II assemblers, and particle containers, which we can then use for planetary logistics. Cool. Well, that's good. Today, we expanded... Oh yeah, I forgot to name this. I was humming and hawing while I was building this. I had quite a bit of time to think about it. I think we're going to call this production area because it kind of cements our way into the future. We're going to call it Terra Firma. Pretty sure that translates to something like firm earth or something like that. Something to really ground yourself on. Pun intended, of course. But as the sun sets on this side of the earth, or Terra, what is this? Theta Hydri 2. Next up, we just have to go to something very far away. And I don't know if we can actually go there, but it looks like we can. Our time on this planet is limited. So, as much as it pains me to say, The next episode will probably be off-planet. 20 hours of work, and it's about to be kind of done with. Theta Hydra 3 is now on our list, I think. Yes, that's our titanium planet. So next up, I think we take Mr. Icarus over here, fill him full of things to do mining on another planet. So we'll grab some electric power, like the good old wind generators, build some of those. We'll grab a whole bunch of sorters, we'll grab a whole bunch of belts, and we'll make a little colony over there, mining titanium. After that, we can bring a whole bunch of it back, like a full inventory kind of thing, and at least from there, we can start setting things up like planetary logistics systems, and I don't know, maybe yellow cubes. We could do yellow cubes. Chemical facilities for the final thing will be on the last bit as well. We can start making organic crystals from the plastics, so more refined oil. There's going to be so much oil use. But then we'll be good. We'll be up to yellow cube production, and then all of the cool research begins. Is this part of it? Yes. High-strength, lightweight structures, which Dyson sphere components. So we're on the cusp. Interstellar logistics systems, so that's how we could get the titanium off of the other planet, or vice versa. And gas giant exploitation, so we can get the, I think it's fire ice or something from Theta Hydra 1. Outside of that, we can get mini fusion power, Casimir crystals, miniature particle colliders, satellite distribution systems. There's so much that we're going to be able to do soon. Got lots and lots to do. And it's all for the next time. Thanks for coming along for another one of these episodes, and you know what? I'll see you very soon. Take care. Remember to dream big.